Hi boardies. Today I'm looking at a game called HeroQuest, High Adventure in a World of Magic. It's a game I heard about through a Facebook group and someone posting a very funny video about saying the best thing about HeroQuest. I don't know if this is even big enough to actually figure out how much it's going to weigh, but let's kind of see it. It's around 1607 grams. It's by Amass Games. It's a 9+ game in the sense it's 9 to adults. It's 2 to 5 players, and it says it has clear step-by-step rules. Now, there's stuff on the back, but I kind of like to leave as it is. This game is around 30 years old, so obviously got natural, kind of slight discoloration. But it basically tells you how to assemble various pieces to the game. So I'm just going to pop that off to the side for the time being and move on to the next bit, which is this kind of shield, which is like this dungeon master uses, and it's what's conjuring stuff up. It kind of shows you various things that are going to be in the game, and we're going to go through those and we're going to see what's in the box. So the table, cupboard, so you need to like fold these pieces together to get them to work. The fireplace, treasure chest, rack, sorcerer's table, block square, secret door, throne, bookcase, weapons rack, tomb, and alchemist bench. So let's just talk about what these things do. So the pit trap. Any player who stumbles into a pit trap will automatically lose 1 body point. The player who moves as normal takes the next turn. So they'll take the next turn off that initial move, obviously for the turn they've just had. The pit remains on the board as an obstacle. You may attempt to jump over a pit trap. You must have enough movement left to get across the pit. And the square on the other side must also be unoccupied. Any character or monster who attempts to jump across must roll a combat die. If he rolls a skull, he fails into the pit or falls into the pit and loses 1 body point. If he rolls a shield, he's allowed to continue his move. Count the square of the pit as a normal square when counting how far you have moved. Falling block. Any character who moves through a falling block trap square will spring the trap. The block will fall into the square marked on the map with an arrow, blocking the way. Any monster or character in that square must roll 3 combat dice. The victim must lose 1 body point for each skull rolled, and then move to an adjacent unoccupied square. If the victim cannot dive out of the way to an adjacent square, he is killed by the falling block. Okay, so even though I haven't even showed you the game yet, just telling you a bit about some of these things that you can imagine doing. We've been walking around, all these lovely medieval looking things, and obviously things we have to deal with. Okay, any player who's caught this with a spear trap in a spear trap will lose 1 body point if he rolls a skull on a combat die. The spear trap will only affect the first character to enter the square. So that goes there, and here comes out this lovely shiny board. Let me move it off to one side and bring it out here. So it's a big board, and it's just a bifold board. It's very nice and shiny. HeroQuest is written on the board, which I always like to have that sort of done. You can see we're going to be moving around, and then bringing on to actually what's in the box. As you can see, there's no kind of compartmentalization. You've got these kind of chest of drawers and things that we've discussed, and we've got these various creatures. So we're going to talk about these creatures, talk about these cards. So these cards have all been arranged. So you have the fire spells. You have 3 fire spells here. Basically what they represent. 3 earth spells, you have 3 ward spells, 3 air spells. You've got a number of cards here to do with weapons, so things basically in this tomb. And then you've got lots of treasure cards. There's I think 25 treasure cards. And so treasure hoard, you can find that in there. You can find some equipment. And then you've got these demon cards at the end as well. So you've got some dice. So you have 6 dice in the corner here. You've got some of those pit traps you've already seen and some of these boulder pieces. And then we can move into this, which is a little bit about other things you can get in the game box. The characters. So you've got the wizard, who can do various different things. You've got the barbarian, the elf. So you can obviously think how many points they have and what you want to try and do to attack. You've then got the character sheet, things that you can choose to do around that too. Okay. So that goes in there. And then finally, we have the rules of play and the quest book. So the quest book I think there's 15 different things you can fight off. And it's going to tell you a bit of a story about what's going on and how you're going to go about trying to resolve it. So yeah, this game is 31 years old. And then we've got this here. So this is the rules of play. And yeah, we're looking to the various characters, things that you can do. So somebody must act as Morcar, the evil wizard, and they control the forces of the monsters. This player is called the evil wizard player. And the various obviously movements and things you can do. You can see it's a game whereby things happen a lot. But yeah, so let's talk to you through about these different characters, who we have in here. So we have the Citadel monsters, so we have 8 orcs, so let's bring up some of these characters. So we've got these little guys here. So if I tell you how many there are of each, there are, I think, 8 of these guys. So let me move them over here. Got 6 goblins. So as you can see, these tiny little guys are goblins. If you can kind of just pick them up there. Let me try and zoom in a bit. Yeah, there we go. Just bring this up guy again as well. And then you've also got 3 Firmia, which I'll get on to. You've got these guys, which are mummies. So you have 2 mummies. Let me just make sure that's in detail. You're going to have, so you've got these guys too, as you can kind of pick up. I'll come back on to. So we've got the good guys as well. And I'm going to explain to you all these different characters in a moment. I'm just kind of showing you what they look like initially. Got the big bad boss. So you can see this is the gargoyle that we've put together, a bit on the back. So there he is. We're going to have the 4 Chaos Warriors. So these guys do these kind of things on the top of their heads. So there's 4 of them. Let's make some space. So the 4 Chaos Warriors I'm now going to put together because of their weird halo on their heads. You have to be careful actually because they're almost too tall for the things. So we have the, let's bring these guys over. This was all actually in the right position at one point. So we have the pieces here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they are our goblins. We have the 8 orcs. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, because included in this, you've also got this guy, which is the same height, but he's got the mace on there too. We've got these 4 Chaos Warriors, the 3 Firmia, which are, let's bring them up. Oh, sorry, got these. So firstly, let's talk about these guys. These are our main characters, that's why they're red. Okay, so you've got the warrior, well, let's call him properly name, he's called the barbarian. Put him flat. There we have the wizard. Here we have the dwarf, and there's the elf. We've also got some skeletons. So we've got 4 skeletons. So that's them. And then the last thing, which I did partially mention, is these 3 guys. These are called Firmia, which is F-I-M-I-R. So those, let's go flat in there too. That's everyone. So let me just chuck in these 2. As you said, these are zombies. So if you're wondering what these things are, this kind of shows you that they're the right thing. Cool. Right, well, that is everything in the book for now. This is a game I haven't played yet, but I just thought you'd be interested to be aware of what's inside a HeroQuest box. And yeah, this is just that first look. First look, despite being a 31-year-old game, but I thought it was of interest because it's a game that lots of people are aware of, talked about, and it's something to consider looking into. It's a vintage game. It's a lot of people's memories of childhood, and hence is a highly collectible item. Thanks very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed that. Hopefully it wasn't too strenuous. It's quite informative for something such a classic. Again, I haven't played it yet, keen to, and yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please hit the thumbs up, share as well, and subscribe if you haven't already to see new videos. And lastly, check out the comments, please add some, and also the descriptions. Thanks very much for watching. Speak to you soon. Bye-bye.